Today begins the career of a 97 speed quarterback. If you missed the Commanders Replacement Squad series episode prior to this one, was the offseason, and we added an amazing looking player. Our new franchise quarterback, James Cody, out of Boston College. He's not a big dude, 6'2", 206, but his ratings, passing wise, nothing bad here. 92 throw power, 77 deep accuracy, 81 medium, 82 short. He has pretty good awareness. Throw on the run is impressive. Break sack, throw under pressure. But it's his secondary attributes that are insane. 97 speed, 96 acceleration and agility, 79 carrying, 97 change direction, 91 juke, 85 spin, with 90 injury, 97 stamina, and 81 toughness. Maybe that one a little bit low. But overall, this guy looks like he could be insane. And there's a lot being asked of him already when he hasn't even made his real official debut yet. As we've seen with quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, who can run around, so many people be like, he's not a quarterback, he's a running back. And with James Cody, 97 speed, he's going to hear the same thing. So he has to prove that he's a quarterback. And they're asking for 300 plus yards in day one. They're also, since he has 97 speed, want him to get involved in the rushing game. They want him to be able to maintain a rushing of 150 yards every game. So they're asking for 450 plus yards from James Cody on debut against the Pittsburgh defense. We'll see if he could do that and help lead this team to a victory week 1. But it will be the defense up first as we get this game underway. Kicking off, Dicker the kicker, our new kickoff specialist, boots it all the way to the back of the end zone. They'll take the touchback. And speaking of new quarterbacks, Tua has moved to Pittsburgh to help lead this squad moving forward. We'll see what we could do against him as there's a wide open receiver play 1. We'll be seeing a lot of new starters here on the defense, pretty much the entirety of the interior defensive line, including also one of the edge guys as well in Mike Dana over on the right end spot. And then the cornerbacks, the 2 starters on the outside are new. Amadi stays with the team this year as the nickel or slot cornerback. Have a new starting linebacker as well in Akeem Gaither, or should probably actually say Akeem Davis Gaither, and I'm pretty sure last episode I kept saying Gaithers. I could have sworn that's what it was. Apparently not. Gonna stretch to the outside once again. Here comes Cashman in his second year as a starter linebacker for us. And hopefully with just an improved front 7 really for the defense here, we'll see even a larger impact from players like Shaka Toney, who somehow did not go up to an X factor this season, after he set a new sack record last season, 28 in one season. He does apply the pressure there on Tua, and we get the stop forcing the field goal attempt here from pretty deep, about the 48-yarder, about a 58-yarder that is well wide. But with that, the debut for James Cody begins. Heading out to help lead this offense into the future. A lot of new starters as well on this side, but we're going to start with some read option. Cody's keeping it, trying to get to the outside. Really good job there from the defender. Will only end up going for a gain of 2. Now, this team did have a pretty small draft class, only 4 players, but half of them are going to be starters. Well, I say 4. We had more than that, but not all of them ended with the final roster, a lot of which ended on the practice squad, as Osborne, one of our new receivers, gets the jet sweep and gets a decent chunk there, setting up a 3rd and 2. We're going to go right back to that read option once again, try to get to that outside. James Cody has the edge and the first down, stepping out of bounds, not taking any contact. So already we've seen a few runs, haven't seen him throw the ball yet, so let's try to load that up here on 1st and 10. We had one guy open for a second. Instead, we're going to scramble to the outside here. Cody going to tuck and run, get the first down, and step out of bounds. That speed on display. So even with our few amount of upgrades on the offensive line, also the ability to just be able to run a little bit more is coming through as he steps up once again, trying to find the space, sliding down just before the 10 at the 12. He is already looking like he's going to be a problem for defenses that like to blitz. We're going to come out here with the RPO, though. And his first pass goes out to Bo Melton, trying to get that juke to the outside, but still a solid gain up to the 5. And clearly, he feels pretty comfortable in this offense already. With that West Coast college-style playbook that we designed last season, really helped us out when we ended up drafting Cody. And, I mean, just a perfect fit. We're down to the 1 here. First and goal, Turpin checks in the goal line set and can not necessarily easily walk into the end zone, but gets into the end zone behind his big men up front. We'll grab an early lead. And I'd say first drive for the rookie quarterback is a success. He definitely carried a lot on his legs. We'll see what his arm can do as we move forward. Again, they're wanting to see 300 plus passing yards on debut from him. So we're definitely going to need to get that going, as our defense is going to have to work out how do not allow so much yards on their passing game, because it hasn't looked great to start off with. Another stretch to the outside, that time going to be one-on-one as Johnson gets ran over. Luckily slows down Najee Harris, at least for a second. They do still get a nice gain though on first down. We'll set up a 2nd and 3. They got trips to the left-hand side, tight end at the right side of the line. Najee Harris once again going to the outside. Had the space, but he cuts back in and he won't even get the first. But definitely on defense, I want to focus on this interior. We brought in 4 new defensive tackles, and we need to see if they could really show that they have the stuff. Because on 3rd and 2 there, they definitely didn't stuff it. And on top of us, playing only 8-minute quarters versus the Sim 15, we were already one of the worst rush defenses last season, so a lot of room to improve, and hopefully we'll see some of that as Tua lobs it up. Mullins loses the ball in the air, and the Steelers will capitalize. Well, the offense starts looking pretty good. Defense, a little rough. Definitely some things to fix, as we have some pretty good blocking in front of Borgie, who will get forward for about a gain of 6 to start the 2nd quarter. I think the plan might be, because with quarterbacks, their stamina really does not hold up well, no matter what the rating is. So I think the plan will be kind of have Cody do some running in the 1st quarter, get things going, as that was almost a great play from Osborne. Unfortunately, ends up being a better play by the cornerback. But yeah, plan for Cody, run more in the 1st and maybe 4th quarter, and then leave the middle part of the... Well, getting sacked here is definitely not going to help out with keeping that stamina. We'll have to punt. But essentially, just want to make sure that we are maintaining the stamina of Cody so that his passing doesn't go out the window, because that definitely happens a lot in Madden. As Tua already has had a pretty good start, going out wide. Henderson not going to get the pick, but good coverage. Tua's definitely just let it fly today, and more often than not, they've been open. Also, trying to work a little bit more man defense into our defense. Been primarily zone coverage in the past, but I prefer that man press guy, and we're trying out a few new guys to see if they could do it. I think one area that might come back to possibly bite us is at the linebacker spot. I don't know if we necessarily have that man cover guy, despite us every season looking for guys who could cover at linebacker. We really haven't found that guy yet. And you could pretty clearly see it in this one, as they definitely have been able to just pass however they've wanted. They've gotten guys open in every level, whether it's been little dump-offs like this or their touchdown pass last drive. Would also help if we could get some quick pass rush as well. So let's come out with a double A gap here. Bring the blitz, see if Shakatoni can get clean off the edge, which he does, and in for his first sack of the season. We're hoping to see a bit more of that, not necessarily just from Shakatoni this season. He had 28 last year, so he's done plenty. We just need to see it from a few other spots. It can't always just be one guy, as here comes Dana White, who forces the fumble. Unfortunately, Tristan Hill couldn't pick it up, so we will still have a field goal attempt, but timing, pretty good. Now this one is even further from where they were at previously, where they missed wide left. However, this one looked pretty good, but off the crossbar. Had the accuracy this time, but not the power. So that's now 6 points that have just gone to the wayside here for the Steelers that would have put them up, even if they just were able to get one of them. We're gonna have a wide open guy this time. Bo Melton trying to get down the sideline, stays in, does not get the juke, but a big chunk, 50 yards. Almost, maybe roughly around 50 yards. 44, so it was pretty close. Now, I believe this one is the read option RPO. So where do we want to actually go with it? Back out to Melton, who can't hold on to it. Probably should have just handed that one off. Ended up getting a little bit greedy. Maybe look for Noah Brown here. I do like Osborne to that back pylon as well. End up covering both of those, and Watt in for his second sack. Can we please just have the right tackle block? So on 3rd and 20 at the 22, let's just shuffle the line to that right-hand side, and hopefully they could get the job done. Or if anyone else can get the job done, Osborne not gonna get out there. At least should be in range for Dicker the kicker to help put us up on this one. Be kicking back from the 30, about a 40-yarder with plenty of space right down the middle. We will grab a lead. Well, things definitely seem to have cooled off a little bit. First possession of offense was really hot, and then from there it's kind of teetered a little bit. Defense has been hit or miss. Both teams definitely finding their splash plays for sure. Couple sacks for both sides, couple big touchdowns, as well as a flag throwing down here. And that will back them up even more. They'll come out with an empty set. Trips to the right, 2 to the left. Tua lone in the backfield. We'll go with a quick pass into Freiermuth, who is up to a star dev, by the way, or superstar dev. Now just 2 minutes left here in the first half. Can we get a stop? Allow our offense one more opportunity, and yes, we can. Shaka Tony, who else? Well, now it's going to be time to see what Cody can do with essentially a minute on the clock. We do have all 3 timeouts, and we're going to start trying to set up a screen pass to Borghi, which we will get it out to him. Have a few guys up front, but a really nice chase from 91 will get the stop, only a gain of 3. So try to go into a little bit of some hurry up here. Got Campbell going on the deep post. I would love to go his way. That pass may be a little bit underthrown. Haven't taken too many deep shots today. Trying to keep these passes short. That is the better accuracy for Cody. Not that his deep isn't passable by any means, but that will be his first career interception. Just about a yard too far out in front for Osborne to get a hand on it. So momentum could very much swing here late in the first half, with the Steelers now having the opportunity to go up into half. We'll see if they're able to capitalize on it with a guy open. No, that one's going to get picked off. Mullen Jr. headed the opposite way. If he could outrun Tua, who's in pursuit, stiff arm and stumble on into the end zone. The first game for Mullen after being signed in the offseason gets a pick 6. Well, talk about a swing of momentum. Definitely then swung heavy in our favor. Just need to make sure we hold on to it while we head on into half. We've seen crazier things happen, but coverage looking really well here. Eventually, someone is going to get open, or someone's going to get open. Tristan Hill was back there, just couldn't quite get by the last blocker, and Tua, with all the time, finds Freiermuth. And you can't blame that on the coverage. They were back there for as long as they could possibly cover. The pass rush has to hit home, as Gaither's not going to get there either. We whiff on the tackle. Another broken tackle, or forced from. I don't really know if you would say forced from, but Freiermuth breaks another tackle. He's looking really solid. Definitely deservedly so with that superstar dev. As I go with a delayed handoff, Najee Harris cuts to the outside. We'll get a couple timeouts being called. 8 seconds left. And they have no timeouts remaining. A sack, tackle prior to the goal line is what we need. We also need them to not go out of bounds, as that gives them one more opportunity for a field goal in the first half. This one, you would imagine they'd make it, but they haven't yet, and this one, not going to be a problem. Right down the middle, they'll grab 3. And as we head on into halftime, need to try to figure out if the way we have been calling the offense is working well or if we need to kind of change things up a little bit. We obviously started off running the ball really well with Cody, but the passing game hasn't been there, only 37 yards, so maybe some slight tweaking to find that perfect spot for us. Again, they want 300 and 150, so we'll see if we can do that as the Giants are up against the Jaguars at halftime, 16-10. Would like to be on top of the division at the end of this game, or at least tied for the top, so a win for sure is needed. As the Saints up with a lot of points for just the first half, 28-14. That's almost an end score game. This one 3 seconds left before halftime. And the last game update, big one for our division. Eagles taking on the Cowboys, and a lot of points scored. 40 for the Cowboys, 30 for the Eagles as they lose their opening game with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. And with the second half underway here, we'll see if any adjustments were made to the offense. Looks like this one will go out of the back of the end zone, and it will be the offense up first. But I think the best thing to get Cody kind of moving here in the NFL is to start with some more easier throws. Give him something he can handle, as that one was lofted in beautifully. Gonna find Brown his first catch. I do also think having a little bit of some Borgie will help out as well. So try to get some run game, a little bit of some short pass game going. Try to help out where we can, as Borgie gets stuck behind the line there, not going to get much. So we'll stick with the same formation here, 2nd and 10, but flip the side, go with a stretch. Had the RPO dialed up, but they had Osborne covered really well as the stretch. Will actually be a loss of 1. And on 3rd and 7, they come out in the double A gap, so potentially maybe we'll get over the top. A little bit of some play action. They do drop back into coverage. We're going to roll out. We're going to have a guy open as Osborne with a nice catch. Did not have to do that. He could have just stood up, but a nice catch down to the 31 nonetheless. Also like seeing Cody set his feet there, not trying to rush anything. He does have some good throw on the run skills, but when you don't have to throw on the run, you don't have to. Good run there from Borgie. Line did really well there. And now coming out in shotgun, got trips to the left-hand side. Brown, the lone receiver, to the right. Bo Melton is not going to find much space as we barely get that one off. Whenever we've dropped back into shotgun, we essentially have just had no time to develop these plays. The pass rush is killing the right side of the line. So let's go with a run here. Turbin down the middle. We'll squeeze a first down. And with that, we'll stay with the shotgun, but change things up a little bit here. Have Ross going towards that front pylon on that left-hand side, which is where we're going to toss this one up for the big man who can't bring it down. Maybe try to set up a little bit of some RPO instead then. Osborne to the left-hand side. Does look a little interesting, and we'll go that way, but as soon as we throw it, Ross just vacates his blocking assignment. Still managed 5 out of it. And we'll stick with that same formation on 3rd and 5. Have Osborne going on an inside zig. That's interesting. Brown on a bit of a corner. Might need to step up here with Cody, and not going to get anywhere. The 3rd sack for TJ Watt. But how about a field goal attempt instead, as Dicker, the kicker, did not do very well on that one. Pushed it well wide. And on a clear day like this, you can't miss a field goal that close, that badly. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us, as Shakatoni in for his 3rd, just keeping up with TJ Watt at this point. But in a way, that was kind of what I was referring to earlier. With all this other talent we have on the defensive line now, they can't always try to just straight up double team Shakatoni, which leaves him open, maybe one-on-one or just straight up open. Did see a nice tackle there by Davis Gaither on the run. Will force a 3rd and 15. Trying to make sure we give a little bit of cushion as they go outside, and we'll pick up maybe a yard or 2. Not much, and they'll have to punt. Well, as it seems right now, at least against the Steelers game 1, the blocking not looking great. So that tells me we need to stick with some more short passing game. So we're going to go out to Osborne once again, and not going to find it. And it hasn't necessarily been all just bad passes from Cody. He's definitely missed a couple, but when he has missed, it hasn't been by a lot. So that's something we definitely need to note, as the hit on Cody will be caught, intercepted, return for a touchdown. This game is now tied. That pass was intended for one of the receivers coming around the backside. I want to say it was Ross. This ended up really not going anywhere near as Osborne saves us there. Looked like that was going to be another interception, but he cuts in front of the defender and gets the first down. It's also 2 interceptions for Cody on the day, so not fantastic numbers for a debut performance. But how about one-on-one? Brown downfield, not going to get the positioning. So let's just kind of slow things down a little bit here. Let's go with a run to Borgie, who has to cut to the outside, getting chased down from Watt. Only a 1-yard gain. Watt has been very disruptive today, and we have to find a way to be able to move the ball while having really good talent that we're playing against, because that's something we're definitely struggling with today. Nice throw there from to Osborne by Cody. He's done that a couple times today. And if that's just what we need, you know, some rollout plays, get to the outside, set the feet late. That's just what we're going to... Why did we hand the ball off? It was supposed to be a pass. Maybe it was actually an RPO and I just didn't know what play I chose. And upon second look, yeah, it was definitely an RPO, so I just did not know the play that I was choosing. That one's on me. Definitely thought it was a pass. Osborne trying to get to the outside there. Pass dropping in beautifully for a rookie quarterback. That kind of throw has to be impressive. It also sends us into the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, we don't get the nice sweeping animation. So straight on into the fourth quarter as we go with a little bit of some read option to the outside. James Cody scores on debut. The speed, very prevalent there. Now with that lead finally back intact, let's see if we can hold it. As the Pittsburg Steelers come out, ace formation, play action pass. They have some guys going deep, but they dump it off Harris underneath. With a nice set of moves there, will get a first. I'm still definitely not happy with where the linebacker group is at. That is one of the primary focuses of this upcoming draft, is to get a really good look at the linebacker group and try to see if there is a guy we could really build around for the future. Some other potential options, we'll be checking free agency and as well as teams' practice squads, any potential cuts as the season goes along, just to see if, you know, any guy pops up that we think might be something. That being said, don't want to say anything bad about Cashman. He was definitely great for us last year, but he is on the older side. He's not going to improve very much. We're going to give Davis Gaither a nice attempt no, that was not Gaither. That was actually Mathis, one of the new DTs who was in on the stop. But again, we're not getting the push that we need on a 3rd and 2 like that. And unfortunately, the defensive line class in the previous draft ended up not being as good as I thought it was going to be. At least there were a lot of similar talent, but it wasn't top tier talent. Great stop there though by Mullen. He is cornerback 1 for us, primarily due to his press ability. He is the highest on the team. He's not as highly rated as Henderson, but because of that press ability, he's getting the start. Another great play there made by another new member. And if we could see that kind of run stopping mixed with some good play from our DTs, I think we'll have a much better season in the rushing game. We are going up against a pretty good rushing team here, as there's a nice swat down by Henderson. And with that swat, we do force the punt. So an opportunity here to milk the clock as well as try to tack on some more points. Maybe the space for Brown down the sideline. No, has to play cornerback again. Definitely hasn't been a great completion percentage day for Cody, but, you know, he's putting the ball in some decent spots. He's made some really good throws. It's not always going to be great, but just like that, you know, a yard or 2 off. And I'd much rather have a yard or 2 off than be 5 or more yards off like we've seen before in this series. As it looks like the defense is going to switch around as we go with Bo Melton. Has some speed, get the juke. No, a solid tackle there by Jack. But on 4th and 5, we are going for it as we almost get TJ Watt to jump off. But he gets back in time, going to have to roll out, and that ball pops up. Please, go get it. And maybe we shouldn't have gone for it. As the Steelers tie it up again, scoring a touchdown on another turnover. You could tell that on that play, Cody thought he had the speed to break away from everyone, but once he realized he didn't, tried to throw it away late, and I guess the ref decided it was not a pass and ended up calling it a fumble. And, you know, we've had a lot of those with Cody today. And that might just be a problem. It's also just a problem with most quarterbacks who have that scramble archetype. As he does find Osborne here on the RPO, he can at least throw those very well. But that is several turnovers for him on the day. 2 interceptions. I want to say 2 fumbles as well. So definitely something we're going to need to clean up as we have to roll out again and throw away. That right side cannot block Watt. We have maybe 2 seconds at most on these plays, and that's really just not enough time. But if we run right at him, we have some space here. Borghi tries to break to the outside, gets up a nice block from Ross before getting caught from behind by number 15, but a huge run up to the 24, or down to the 24. Now with just a few seconds left before the 2-minute warning, who's going to break open? How about a dump off instead? Going to find Borghi, who will get about 5 out of it. And now we have the 2-minute warning. Definitely need to play this a little bit more cautiously. We are primed to walk away victorious in this game, knock on wood. We just have to not make any glaring mistakes. Hand this one off down the middle. Borghi will get a few. Or apparently just 1. I don't agree with that spot. But we're going to check in Manny Fox here in the slot. Going to send him in motion. Jet sweep time. Try to get to the outside. Pick up a block, which we do end up getting. Head downfield. Stretch for it. And I think he has it. And I definitely do not agree with the spot. They say no. But I think we are got to go for this one as we deal with the quarterback sneak. And again, I don't know. Like, can we get some better animations here? But they do give it to us. Barely. Don't know how the center did not get the block on that. It was just, I think, a linebacker coming down. But it is what it is. Hales checks in. He takes the jet sweep. Gets a few. As we sit now at the 10 with 1:25 on the clock. No more timeouts remain for the Steelers. Borghi down the middle, setting up a 3rd and 3. Just need 3 yards for the first down. As we let the play clock run all the way down to 1. Snap the ball. Some read option. Borghi down the middle. Rolling. Jack does not get the stop. And with 1 second left, a chip shot here for Dicker to send us home victorious. Send us into the locker room. We're already home. But it will be a victory week 1. It was not a pretty one. Some things to definitely clean up. Some areas that we weren't thinking were going to be an issue. Mostly talking about that right tackle spot. We hadn't really had an issue there before. Obviously, playing against Watt is not necessarily going to be the best preview. But hopefully we'll give that a few more weeks. If that seems to continue to be a problem, we'll address it. Now, that was definitely not the debut we were hoping for, obviously, with James Cody, but he showed flashes of the play that he can have, right? We just need to clean things up a little bit, not force as many things, and if we can have the right tackle block, that would help us out even more. There were a lot of passing plays that if we had a few more seconds to let it develop, we might have had an open receiver crop up. Osborne was pretty good on debut. Really didn't see much from Justin Ross in this game, or really anything from Noah Brown. So we'll see if those two on the outside, if they can be good for us with this style offense, or if we need to maybe find someone that's just a better fit, not necessarily that they're just not that good. So we'll start to tweak with things, play with things a little bit, and make our decision by week 7. Because I think at this point, if we have players on our team that we've developed and have showed that they are really good, I feel like we could trade away players for picks only. I do not think that we're at the point where the commissioner would allow us to start trading for players, right? Because it's a replacement squad. We're not necessarily supposed to be out there just grabbing guys and trading for the best guys, right? It's part of the challenge, right? Make things a little bit more difficult. So we could trade away players who progress and give us some draft capital. But not to the point yet that I think we could trade for players. I think we need to at least make the postseason before we could trade for players. So let me know what you think about that. I think that's a good plan. So could trade away some players. There's maybe one offensive lineman that we could trade away, but if we continue to struggle with a pass pro, maybe not. So we'll play with that a little bit, see how that goes. Next episode will be a really fun battle. Lamar Jackson versus James Cody, the battle of the two quarterback running backs. and see who ends up on top. So make sure you guys stick around. Either scroll down below and hit the subscription button right next to that bell icon that you should also be hitting, or you can just hit my bear icon in the bottom right to subscribe. But either way, make sure you hit that bell notification. This series out twice every week, Monday and Thursday, with the state-only challenge every Wednesday and Saturday. And then on FIFA 23, Tuesdays and Fridays, my noob to pro, my player career. So make sure you guys stick around. 6 videos every single week. It's not too bad. And until next time, with a battle of a lot of speed at quarterback, we'll see you then. Bye.